we go. Baby. I'm gonna do it. This is great footage. What's up guys, and welcome back to the infamous project. Today we're gonna be doing a new project announcement. Should be a pretty quick and easy / exciting one. And it's a project I said I'd really never do. However, Gerry roped me into it. So stay tuned as I give you guys the rundown and the details on Gerry's 1993 white LX hatch Coyote swap project. I said it, and I know that I keep going on. I kind of have a hate on the Coyotes, or at least that's what people think. I don't hate Coyotes. In fact, well, I'm working on that twin turbo Coyote notch, which the swap was already done for the most part. It was just really needing the OCD and attention to detail for me to wrap and make the rest of that car as cool and as nice as the motor swap was. So, needless to say, Gerry reached out to me once I got down to Texas because he's local to me in the area here, and he bought me a bunch of beer and didn't waste any time in terms of trying to rope me into one of these projects. Now, the funny thing is, he's actually got a twin car to this. I believe it's a 93 as well, white on black. That one has a Holley sniper system on it, and I forget the name of the shop who's been helping him out with it, but that one's pretty much done. And this one, he's been hoarding parts for. Now, if you can kind of look through the windows here, this car is full. It is jam-packed. He just dropped it off about a week ago now. And he's like, here you go, Chris, get this done for me. And well, you know what? He always comes by with beer. So I'm never gonna say no to a beer. And you know what? It really worked in his favor, because I told him that I'd help him out with this project. Now, he's actually got a Gen 3 Coyote motor sitting here on the stand. He's got a 10R80 transmission. I believe I might have said it was a 6R80 in one of my other videos. However, he's got everything. And if you actually even look down on the lower side of the engine stand here, there is the K-member for the Coyote swap. There's a brand new steering rack already bolted onto that thing. And well, the majority of the swap elements are taken care of right there. In terms of being able to get this thing to go into the car, no problem. He's got a control pack in here. He's got headlights. He's got stereo. He's got headers that are sitting up there near the rack. And I'm starting to organize some of his parts and get all of his stuff over on the storage rack over there, so that way I'm a little bit more organized and know exactly what I need to do to get this thing done. So this is a true 505 speed car. He got it out of California. I'll lift up the hood here for you guys. So nothing too fancy in here. A dusty factory 93 5.0. And you know, it looks like somebody did a water pump. In fact, he did tell me. So one of the ears on the block, I believe for one of those long water pump bolts, it actually cracked off. So it's JB welded, it was holding, but we need to get that repaired. Otherwise the motor should be good to go. The transmission's actually already out of the car, and well, the radiator's out. So there's not much here to get this old motor out of the car. So I'll be going through, we're gonna pull this out real quick. So that way we can open up our engine bay. We'll take off all the stuff that isn't needed. Hydro boost is another thing that we're gonna have to do in order to clear the Coyote motor, since that bitch is wide, guys. It's funny how wide the Coyote motor is. And then, you know, I have this Godzilla sitting here. If I take this off. Like when you look at the front of that Godzilla, the alternator is sticking out quite a bit, but if you look at where the valve covers are, like that's such a smaller looking motor. And then you look at how big these valve covers are for the overhead cams and everything. Like that's just a monster. You'd almost be like, how is that going to be able to fit in that bay? So it is what it is. We're gonna get it in there. We know it fits, we know it'll work. We'll get this motor pulled out, we'll get all the bay and everything else cleaned up and ready to go here. And we're gonna set that drivetrain into this car. So now moving on to the inside here. And I believe the car came from California. Tweed interior. Doesn't look too bad. Couple little marks in the tweed and the fabric here, but got some nice black door panels. Gonna need my map bag trick here. Hopefully, yeah, I think we could, hopefully we can salvage those. They do look a little jacked up, but we'll see what I can do. Looks like there's a new carpet even sitting in here. I mean, he really packed this thing full. Not sure what was going on down here. A bunch of wires hanging down and everything else. Yeah, really not sure. Not sure if he started doing stuff, Jerry. Sorry if I'm calling you out or showing your secrets here, but let's see. So here's a random box. What's he got here? Must be a screw kit, fastener kit for door panels. That's what I mean. He told me he's been collecting parts for a while and literally has brand new everything. So, well, let's try and get some of the stuff out of the car. At least let's get an idea of what's in the car. Wonder if these hatch struts actually work. Oh, they do. Well, I'll be damned. Nothing like hatch struts actually working. So you can see here, got a new high torque mini starter. We got some brake pads, got brake lines. It must be a starter wire kit. Got SN95 spindles here. Battery box, subframe connectors. Here's our control pack, throttle pedal, rad hoses. There's the computer down there. Ooh, I didn't know he had Brembos. Nice. It's kind of a nice color too, actually. Well done. Like what I'm seeing here. Anyways, I'm gonna start unloading some of this out of the car. So we got some cutters here. Whatever that's about. What do we got here? Steering, probably steering shaft. Probably clear the headers. We got over here. Man, he loaded this up. Yeah, brand new 3G down there. Got the old 65 amp sitting right there. He told me all these spare parts, these are all mine. So I'm excited about that. Brand new headlight kit. All right. I saw his LED bulbs are in boxes already over there. We got a little fan here. Made in China. Surprise, surprise. Cooler. Ooh, a bunch of lines. This is all our AC kit, I believe. He got all the custom AC lines and everything made already, so we can run AC in this guy. Got our fuel line, all our AN fittings. These headlights out here. Look how light this carpet is without the matting underneath. Oh, it does have the matting. I can't believe how light that is. Well, it is what it is. What we got here? Oh, brand new evaporator. Bet you that's a heater core. So can't say I'm excited for him making me have to take the dash out and having to do the evaporator and heater core. Again, I don't know why somebody is messing with all this wiring in here, but again, get that all sorted out. Got multi-switch, brake clean. Let's just put this stuff on the shelf here. I like getting extra supplies. Always helps out. Never know when you're gonna need that stuff, right? So This is all just kind of random interior stuff. Airbag module, that must have been beeping on them. Ooh, we have a chip. Actually, is a computer in here? Computer is in here. A9L. So that'll be nice. I'll have another wiring harness and computer, which you can never have enough of those. So, we got another set of door panels in here. I wonder what that's about. I'm assuming that's the transmission cross member, stiflers, and we've already looked at that box with the control pack and everything. What else do we got here? Fans. Digging a little deeper here. Wire loom. Looks like we have an aeromotive pump on a pickup here that needs to be cleaned up. We have our fuel pressure regulator, exhaust wrap, new KYB shocks and struts. I can't say much about those, but whatever. And you got a flex light fan up there. I found some Maximum Motorsport caster camber plates earlier, and then what we got here? There's all of our Hydro Boost and brake pedal setup. So I'm sure there's more to that hiding around here somewhere. So there you have it, guys. That is all of Gerry's parts, everything required for Coyote swap in one car. Kind of gone through most of it, and it's definitely looking like a lot more when I've kind of got everything all ripped out of the car like that. But there you have it. We got everything. I'm gonna try and get organized, get the stuff on the shelf that needs to be on the shelf, and then we're gonna get this car in a position so we can actually pull that motor out. We'll clean up the engine bay, pressure wash it down, remove the factory wiring harness, remove the computer, and get all that stuff done and ready so we can get that Coyote in here. They're actually saying that it was foxbody inspired because they're trying to show that the cluster looks like from a foxbody. I'm like, that's a stretch. That's a stretch.
That's a stretch. Now I think what they're trying to do is segue to a retro foxbody for an S750.
There we go. That's why you need that tilt wheel.
Yes.
Or you need to hike more.
Pull the muscle. It hurts. Yeah, it hurts.
You gotta go hiking with the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch the door.
There we go. Baby. I'm gonna do it. This is great footage. Squealing.
The mud daubers made it slippery.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so the motor is out, sitting on the stand here. I managed to get the main wiring harness for the ECU and the motor out, so that's sitting all together. I do have the bell housing and the transmission and everything else that came with this, and ooh, look at that. Nice little EGR block-off plate. You can see the freeze plugs have popped out of the heads here, and he did tell me about that. I guess there was water in the motor, and Texas did get a freeze a couple years ago. Needless to say, popped the freeze plugs out, so they did their job. Hopefully everything should be good there. So we'll do a compression test on this thing once I get a little bit of time. Hopefully everything will be good. We got the Brian's GT up on the lift here because need to do some subframe connectors, and I gotta get the inner fenders bolted back in place. And well, here's Gerry's hatch sitting here. It was much easier to push back into the shop with no heart in here. And you can see the bay is looking empty. Once you get that wiring harness out, it makes quite a bit of difference. So all of this stuff is ultimately going to come out, going to pressure wash it all. And you can see somebody's actually sprayed some black paint down in the firewall / transmission tunnel. Kind of looks like along the frame rails too, which is kind of odd. But anyways, we're gonna get that all cleaned up. Gotta figure out what color he wants to paint it. He says he wants to potentially paint the whole car. I told him to come up with whatever color he wants to paint it. He was talking about Brittany blue, then he was talking about a dark cherry, then he was talking about keeping it white. So he's got to make the decision, because I'm not the largest fan of just painting an engine bay black and then, you know, painting the rest of the car a different color. Like if he's going to go with the black cherry, then painting the bay black makes total sense. But if he's going to go with something else, then he should probably just make that decision now and paint the bay that color. So there you have it, the 93 hatch Coyote swap that will be happening. He dropped off a boatload more of parts, so alongside with the engine and transmission and everything else, you can see that this shelf is now stacked. I got the Stifler's web style subframe connectors that he dropped off as well. Got his fuel tank hiding down there underneath the workbench. So we got everything. Stay tuned and you will see this hatchback get converted to Coyote swap. Again, I said I'd never do one, but he twisted my arm. That's all I can say. So as always, thank you again for your support, and we'll see you here next time on the Infamous Project.